Hey there. As child and youth care workers, the theory that guides our work with families is cognitive behavior therapy. Cognitive behavioral therapy is a style of psychotherapy. In addition, this style aims to help people develop skills and strategies within a certain time frame to promote healthy living. CBT heavily concentrates on the here and now, dealing with daily problems. Furthermore, CBT is used to assist people on how to observe the world around them and how these perceptions affect the way they feel. The origins of cognitive behavioral therapy dates back to the 1960s, and it was initiated by Dr. Aaron T. Beck. However, cognitive behavioral family therapy was later adapted to better include a family focus when working with families. Since it's a form of CBT, it is still somewhat new, so there's so much evidence of clinical use.
Coming up next, we're going to look at some techniques used in cognitive family behavior therapy. So let's start by understanding what automatic thoughts are, which basically can be compared to spontaneous thoughts that flash through your mind when certain situation arises. Counselors will usually ask the family to keep a notebook or keep it in their phones to jot down brief descriptions of different circumstances during the day where they felt distressed or were engaged in a conflict. The main goal behind journaling is for families to review and track their logs to see the links between their thoughts, emotions, and behavior, as having a bad day at work and feeling quite drowsy may have affected the way they responded to their family. Using the journal, the counselor and the family can work together in identifying and labeling any distortions in the automatic thoughts that they logged during the previous week, for example. One of the distortions is arbitrary interference. For example, if a teenager starts to improve his behavior and his parents wonder about his ulterior motive. And also mind reading, meaning that the family member believes that they know what the other person is thinking or feeling without actually talking to them. Selective abstraction is when a family member may have a tunnel vision where they only notice the other's behavior that are consistent with how they perceive them. Overgeneralization, for example, is a teenage girl being told she cannot go out on Saturday night, concluding her parents won't let her have any social life. A distortion in magnification and minimization can be characterized as having standards that are unattainable. Personalization is a mother, for example, that finds her family not eating much at dinner and concluding that they hate her cooking. Polarized or dichotomous thinking is when experiences are classified into extreme categories such as complete success or total failure. Labeling distortions, for example, is when a mother makes mistakes in family budgeting and the father assumes that she is a careless spender. To restructure automatic thoughts, the counselor may ask questions such as alternative explanations for their son's behavior, and while also considering the validity of the thought and what evidence are there to support the thought. The process is quite beneficial for family members to assess their thoughts since public commitments increase the likelihood of follow-through, while conducting behavioral experiments to test their predictions of particular responses of each other's actions. Role play is another technique where the therapist may ask family members to switch roles in order to assess and intervene in problematic situations. The downward arrow technique works by identifying underlying core beliefs through a series of questions such as, and what if that happened? What would it mean to you? Or why do you think you're feeling the way you are right now? But how do we actually implement it in our practice? Let's look at a little scenario that we have. This concludes our presentation, and hopefully you've learned a little bit more about cognitive behavioral family therapy.